Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be taking a look at another case. I've really enjoyed the last couple I've done, although I should say in the last video for the Game Max Mini Callus I did end up having one that had a cracked window, but the good part of that is I actually ended up having the case for free, so well, hey. Anyway, in this one we're going to be taking a look at the Rainbow R3 from First Player. I've never heard of them either, but when I was just browsing along online for a case for a build, this one totally caught my eye. I'll just show you the picture now. And yeah, I had to order it at that price, bundled in a couple of power supplies because they're always useful. And yeah, we'll want to see what this thing's like. Let's get it out of the box and take a look. Okay, so there it is out of the box. And I have to say my first impressions are incredibly impressed. I think it looks really smart. If I just spin this around a bit, you can see there we've got the front, which we know that's going to light up a little bit here. I'm not sure if that's controllable or anything, but yeah. On the top here we've got some USBs, USB 3, the usual power reset, yada yada yada. Really like the overall design of it. Now, as you can see in the picture in the listing, there is no shroud for the power supply, and that's totally fine. I wanted to do something a bit different. I think with some creative cable management that won't be a problem at all. I think the end result will still look pretty nifty. But yeah, overall, first impressions getting out of the box, pretty damn cool. More importantly, compared to the last case, it's not cracked, and compared to the other case I reviewed, this is actually, I don't know if you can hear that, but that's actually a glass panel. Let's whip that off and see what the inside is going on like. Okay, we've got the side panel off. Now this may come a bit dark, I will try and edit it to be a bit lighter, but so you can see. But yeah, if I use my torch, you can see in there, nothing really too exciting, just exactly what we wanted. We've got room for cables and things just there, in this boxed part here. And that's going to be interesting to see what we can do. We've got room for a fan on the front there, I think. Let's have a look, see if I can get my head around what's going on in here. So yeah, I think hard drives and things will be interesting to try and mount. I'm sure there might be some instructions in the box, but that's something we can work out on the way. But yeah, overall, a nice empty space as expected. The one thing the pictures did give me the impression of, if I just show you the back of the thing, you can see there it's completely straight. Now the picture that was on the website indicate that this would have a bulge for cables, which it obviously doesn't, so that's a bit of a downer, I will say. But yeah, if we look at what is going on here, you can see we've got some space for some cabling in this kind of trench here. Let me just get my torch again, make sure you can see. So you can see there is some kind of space for something, but yeah, it could be an interesting one to build with this. I think the end result will look fine, but the actual ease of getting a build in there might be a bit tricky. But hey, that's what this whole review is all about. If it is a pain in the bum, then I'll let you guys know. But for now, I suppose there's nothing much to do but crack on with the build and see how it goes. Let's do it. Okay guys, motherboard went in with no fuss, as you would imagine. The one thing I have spotted, which I thought I'd point out, it's really only small I suppose, but for those who are new to PC building it could be a bit of a thing. The header parts here, drop that, they've got no labels on at all. Now I know they will only fit in one way, and this is probably something minor. However, if you're a complete noob to this, you know, just having a bit of text understanding exactly what it is just helps. Really minor kind of thing, but it's just something I thought I'd better point out. Anyway, I'll crack on. Just more updates. As you can see in there, I've managed to get the power supply in and some of the cables are really a lot better. The one thing, and again a bit of a negative I've spotted for the 4-pin motherboard power bit here, there's nowhere for it to go to kind of neatly route it above the motherboard and down, so it's not going to be ideal. I mean, I'm luckily I tend to think of these things, and I've got a few of these bits that I order every now and again from China, so I've got an extension so I can make a tidy job. But again, it's not a special power supply or anything, it's just something I've picked up brand new. I've just unboxed it, put it in, and it's just not going to be a tidy, there's no tidy route basically. So if I didn't have this extension, then it would have to go essentially right across the view of the motherboard, which isn't ideal. Yeah, just something to bear in mind again. I still like the case and I can't wait to see what it's like when it's finished, but this is another negative, as well as the fact that they haven't labelled any of the connections for the motherboard. The fact that unless you've got an extremely long 4-pin connector, there is no real way to get one in a tidy route to the motherboard, which is a bit of a pain. Okay, we've got a front fan installed there. I've got the hard drive, SSD and whatnot. What a pain, that's all I can really say. I couldn't find any other way to install them, so I've put the hard drive down there, as you can see. This case doesn't seem to do itself any favours. Perhaps if I had some instructions to kind of guide me, then maybe that might have been a bit better, but then at the end of the day, if I've got this wrong, that's totally on me, but if I haven't, this is just less than ideal. It will look tidy once I've cable managed it, I suppose, but so far the negatives do seem to be piling up on this one. However, I'm nearly done. I've just got to try and somehow make a tidy up of that, plus what's going on back here, which hopefully should lead to a fairly decent looking PC in the end. We shall see. But so far this thing has been an absolute nightmare. Well, maybe I'm being a bit strong there, but it's certainly been less than ideal. Anyway, let's carry on.
A few moments later.
Well, there it is, guys. It's all finally built. I've tidied up in there as much as I can. It's looking as good as I'm going to bother doing. But yeah, overall, I do really like the overall aesthetic of it. I think it looks really quite smart. I have to say though, overall, I don't know if I could really recommend this. I mean, yeah, the look is great, and I picked it up for about £24. I think for that price, it'd be hard pushed to find something quite as pretty looking. However, it does seem to fight you along the way. Just a little bit of documentation would have gone a long way here. The fact that there's almost no documentation in there, nothing's labelled. Hard drives are quite messy once they're in there. There's very little space for any cables, although I've managed to get them all in there. I don't know. I do really like the look of it, but I'm not sure I would actually recommend this yet. Something that took me far too long to realise. See this button on the top here? Hopefully you do, next to the power button. Looks like a reset, but in fact it's actually what controls the RGB effect here. So I just keep going through. You can see you've got different colours, which look really quite smart. I've just gone for a blue look in this particular build, but you can see there, got all kinds of rainbow effects. These are pretty nifty, to be fair. Might not be looking quite as punchy with this camera, but they do look really quite cool. I'll just go through these. So yeah, pretty slick. I'm pretty sure you'll all agree, if you're into this kind of thing anyway. But yeah, just stuff like that. The fact that that looks like a reset button, it has what looks like a reset symbol next to it, but nope, it is in fact for this RGB control. Just little things which, maybe it's me being an idiot, I don't know, but just a simple note in the box, even a bit of A4 paper with something written on, would have been quite useful. But overall, for the PC I've built in there, which incidentally is a 3rd gen i5 with an R7 460X. Quite a tasty little build. I'm just putting Windows on there now. It's going to go well. It looks the part. It should be easy to get rid of. The case itself, though, yeah, this time around, if you're really taken by the looks of it and you have seen what's going on inside, if you can see your way around that, then fine, go for it. In my opinion, I think there are probably better on the market, which in time I'll hopefully get around to reviewing myself. I would say maybe shop around unless you're really taken by this design. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you do have this case and want to let me know what you think in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. If you want to see more reviews and all kinds of stuff to do with used tech, then do subscribe. And hey, why not help me out and drop a like on the video. Anyway, see you next time, dudes.